All right, we're going to begin this topic of development by focusing on what tools are used to actually investigate developmental psychology. And there are three in particular methods that we'll focus on today. The first method is the cross-sectional method of investigation. In this method, we compare people of different ages at the same time. So essentially, let's say I want to understand the morality levels of people living in the technology generation that we're in now. So I might investigate people in their teens and compare them to people in their 20s and 30s versus people in their 40s and 50s, 60s and 70s, and beyond. And in this way, I'm comparing people of different age groups, but today, at this particular point in time. So it's taking different sections of the population and cross-comparing them. In this way, we're able to understand the similarities which might arise, and also the differences due to whatever time period I'm investigating. It is important to understand that there can be a confounding variable here, a confounding finding, due to the fact that everyone is being affected by their current context. And so that might make it difficult for me to really determine differences between people if I can't really tease out, is it the age that's different, that leading to the different result? Or maybe it's the fact that everyone reacts differently to that particular context. So there's pluses and minuses to using the cross-sectional approach to investigation. Moving on to the second method, referred to as the longitudinal method. And this is a way of tracking people over time. So if I have someone who's born at 0 years old, I might then track them when they're 2 years old, at 4, at 10, at 20, so on and so forth, and track them over time. I might do this for an individual or maybe even for a group, otherwise known as a cohort. There are a lot of advantages to a longitudinal approach. It allows me to see how someone will develop over time, and this way, if I'm investigating one person or one group, they stay the same. That's a variable that we can control for, because it's the same people, even though they are getting older and developing over time. And this way I can see what the impact of time is. Or let's say I am going to investigate technology. So I might study a person who's born today, and every couple of years give them a set of self-report measurements, or maybe run them through a series of experiments and see how they are evolving along with the evolution of technology. And that's going to be very powerful in giving me information in this longitudinal method. There is a drawback, however, and that is over time people may drop out of an investigation due to life circumstances. So if I start out with 10 people in this study of technology and its impact on us, over time I might lose touch with some of the participants. They may decide they don't want to get involved in the study anymore, and that would affect my data over the long run, although it is still believed to be a very powerful method. Finally, the last method is what's called a cross-sectional approach. And that is a combination of the two previous methods we discussed. So this is when we take people of different ages, like cross-sectional, and we follow them over long periods of time, like longitudinal. And this helps to reduce confounding variables. So I might take a group right now who is 0 to 5 years old, and then a group who is 6 till 10, and then a group that's 11 till 20, and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to compare them in the year of 2016, and then I want to compare them at 2020, and so on. And I'm going to see how they track over time. That's the most powerful method that we use in psychology. Helps us to understand development over time. It is a very expensive method, and therefore it's not as commonly used, but it is by far the gold standard in trying to understand development over time.